Hello, everybody. Welcome to the SoulSpace podcast. We're on number 95. Well,
Yes.
we decided to pick the month theme for May is going to be renewal. And today we're going to talk about renewing your vibrational reality. And we're going to do a little process out of one of our favorite books. Asking it is given. Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Esther and Jerry Hicks,
Yeah.
learning to manifest your desires. It
One.
doesn't really work in my blue background. It
Yeah.
disappears. Space.
It's magic. It's magic.
It is a magical book.
It is.
That's true.
It is. And this one is really good. So it is, if you have the book and want to follow along, we're going to go with process number 4, virtual reality. And it's on page 167.
Yes.
So, should we start out reading a little bit?
I think we should talk about it. And so we'll talk about it as we go, but this one is kind of a cool process. So it's good to kind of go through it first and then talk about it so you guys get a gist of what we're doing today.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I'll start out. So, when to use this process? When you are feeling good and you want to practice a vibration of allowing, when you find yourself remembering a pleasant experience and you want to extend the feeling longer and even move it to a better feeling place. When you have extra time and you wish to spend it in a pleasant way, that's a good thing. Uh,
Mhm.
your current emotional set point range should be this virtual reality process will be of the most value to you when your emotional set point range is somewhere between joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation, and boredom. So 1 through 8, about in that range. If you are not sure what your current set point is, you can always go to chapter 22 and scan the categories of the emotional guidance scale. And we can post that scale in the comments when so you can download it if you want, or if you haven't downloaded it from another podcast, you can do it again. We'll put it there. Um, Remind me to do that, Chris.
I will do my best.
Okay. So remember, you live in a vibrational universe, and all things are managed by the law of attraction. And when you get what you think about, whether you want it or not, because whenever you achieve vibrational harmony with something, because you are giving it your attention, the vibrational essence of it will, in some way, begin to show up in your life experience.
I think
So,
that's a really important piece to talk about first.
yeah. Okay. That is good. And it is true.
Yes.
It's crazy true.
hmm And that's the thing is everything is energy, and we know that. I mean, even in quantum physics, they're realizing the reality of that statement. And so what vibration you're putting out is what you're getting. It's like the karmic cycle that they talk about in the Vedas.
Right.
Everything comes back around. So
Yeah.
what you put out is what you get back. The universe is really like a mirror. And that mirror shows you like what is your vibration. What you're getting back as your result is the vibration you've been putting out the most, what you've been creating. And
Right.
so when we're talking about this process, we're going to help you figure out a way to start putting out the vibration you're intending to create rather than just creating by default, by going up and down throughout your day, by letting other things outside influence you and things like that. Because, like I said, like attracts like. What you're putting out is what you're getting back.
Mhm.
And so, do you want the same results or do you want different results? And that's kind of how you begin to create your vibrational reality.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talk about this all the time with the law of attraction. You want to put out there. And knowing that you can put out that vibration of what you want instead of the lack of not having it. So, we know that, and it sounds easier than it is sometimes, but when you learn to do that and learn to catch yourself and go, oh, wait, I'm putting out some crappy vibes right now. I need to
Mhm.
switch that up and get it back on track, then you're going to start attracting the things that you want again, or the way you want to feel. Pay attention to that more than anything. Don't just think about, I want, or whatever. Just put out that feeling of being happy, being joyful in what you're doing, no matter what that is, and loving your life more. And then more of that's coming your way. It doesn't always have to be a thing that you're wanting. Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, one of the things that we talk about is start with the feeling first.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want to feel?
Yeah.
And then how can I put out more of that vibration so that I'm attracting more of those experiences that I want into my life?
Yeah.
It is a simple process, but at the same time, it's difficult because it's hard not to allow outside influences to affect you throughout the day and change that vibrational output
Yeah.
and to make your dominant vibration the one that you want. It takes practice.
It really does. Yeah. And the more you practice it, the easier it gets. And, you know, pretty soon you're realizing it before anything negative can manifest. So you can switch it around. Thank God the law of attraction isn't instant, because we
Right.
manifest a lot of things that we don't really want, you know. So yeah, it's really good to know and to experiment and to pay attention to how you're feeling, and focus on that rather than the material world. You focus on how you're feeling and what you're putting out there. And people around you will notice how you feel and how the whole vibe. Let's say your workplace is really negative. People that are coming there are feeling that energy. And, then some days you might think, oh, well, we didn't have as many customers as we usually do, or whatever that might be. It's probably because of the vibe that you're putting out there in your workspace. Um, I've noticed that at different places that I've gone where, if the people working the tills are crabby, the people you can never find anyone to ask a question to if you need, and then the whole place feels icky. You don't even want to go back after you've been there. So you really need to pay attention to the vibe that you're putting out, or the energy you're putting out for people.
Right. Because the energy you're putting out is going to determine what occurs. So like everything follows your vibration.
Yeah.
Your vibration puts out first and then everything follows that. So if there's feelings you want or situations you want or events you want or places you want to go or things that you want in your life or relationships, all of it follows your vibration. And that's why what your output is so important. And your emotions kind of tell you where you're at in your vibration. That's their function. And so that's why it's so important, like Tracy is talking about, to listen to yourself. How do I feel? And to check in, because that check in is going to tell you what vibration you're putting out. And is it the one you want or is it not the one you want? Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you said, some places you walk in and you're like, wow, I don't even want to be here. But you want to be that vibration that attracts, not repels.
Right.
So think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, for instance, in Walmart, if it's super, super busy and you're like, oh, I can't handle the vibes in here, remember that you're in charge of that too. Put out that better vibe, smile at people, be courteous, be, happy, and pretty soon you're getting everybody else to feel the same. So you can experiment with that and notice the feeling as you walk in, and then when you walk out, you're probably going to change that whole environment for the time that you're there to be a better feeling in there. So, and you know, it's just fun to do. See how many people you can get to smile at you or say hi or whatever. And you'll notice the feeling as you go through the store or wherever you're at to do that. Yeah,
Right.
love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's read on a little bit. So you could say that the universe responds to your vibration offering to your point of attraction, so the thoughts you think and to the way you feel. To the thoughts you think and to the way you feel. The universe is not responding to what has been manifested in your experience, but instead to the vibration that you are now offering. The universe makes no distinction between your actually having $1 million and your giving thought to having $1 million. Your point of attraction is about your thoughts, excuse me, and not about your manifestations. This virtual reality process is not one where you try to fix something that is broken. It is one where you deliberately activate a scene in your mind that causes you to offer a vibration matching the scene you have activated. And as you practice visualizing pleasant scenes in your mind, these good feeling vibrations can then become your new set point. I love that.
Absolutely. Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is practicing having the vibration of what you want, having the vibration of happiness and joy and excitement and having the things that you want and, right? And so by doing this visualization process that we're going to be talking about, you're practicing that vibration
Mhm.
that where those things that you've asked for can meet you. You're practicing that higher vibration, that feel good vibration, that receiving mode vibration. And so it's good to have a practice like this to help you to do that. So then you get used to what it feels like to be in that vibration
Right.
and you can stay in it longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
You're
good things, right?
actually being who you want to be or what you want to be. Think of it as you already have the things that you want to have, or the job that you want to have, or the car that you want to have, or the partner you want to have, whatever that is. Just be that in the moment and just practice that one, day by day, minute by minute, whatever it takes. And pretty soon it's going to be there because you've been doing that. You've been that thing already for that.
Right. You've been creating it vibrationally. And our imaginations and our mind are super powerful for that creation process. So you should be using it. I
Right.
mean, think about when you were a kid, how you would daydream,
Mhm.
and those daydreams were on their way to becoming your reality. And think about how many daydreams you had as a child have become your reality. When I think about it, it's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. A lot of times we manifest things without even trying, just because we're in that vibration of being
Mhm.
it or having it or whatever. Yeah, so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's been lots of really fun things even lately. So,
Yeah.
but we can continue with this process because I love this one. It's so good. Do
Yeah.
you want me to do the next paragraph?
Sure.
I'll read as much as I can.
Yeah.
Most are presenting the majority of their vibrational offering in response to things, people, and conditions that they are observing. And so the lives of most people continue to unfold very much as they have been, with no significant improvement from day to day. This is because there is not much thought being offered that is much different from what has already been experienced. However, the game of virtual reality will change that because an application of this process on any subject of your choice will cause your vibration to move far beyond where you are currently standing. Since the universe responds to your vibration and not what you are living now, amazing things can now begin to flow into your experience, even though they have never done so before. I think this point is super important because a lot of people, like we talked about, are really focused on what's happening in my reality right now. Well, what's happening in your reality right now is what you've created before.
Mhm.
It has nothing to do with the what you're creating going forward. So this process allows you that opportunity to create what you want going forward if you're willing to practice the vibration of it.
Yeah.
Super powerful. I mean, if you begin to try this process on a regular basis, you'll be amazed at the changes that will happen in your life.
Yeah.
And they'll start small, but it'll build and it'll snowball. And it's just, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even have any words today. But I don't have any words for this because this process is so powerful. It
Yeah.
really, really is. And
Really.
it gives you something concrete to practice. And a lot of people want concrete tools. Well,
Here they are.
here you go.
Yeah, yeah. And that is one thing that's really important. And where we get stuck most of the time is, okay, but I don't have that right now. Well, yeah, but you can have it if you change that thought right now, and keep changing it every time it comes back. Change it. No, I want to feel like this. I want this. And pretty soon you're being that already, and then it can come. If you're still in that wanting mode and pissed off because you don't have it, excuse my French, but that's how you're creating where you're at right now, where you're stuck. We can't stay in that. What's that quote? You keep doing the same things over and over and expecting a different reality. That can't happen if you're staying in that same place. So we have to start changing our thoughts and changing to what we want instead of where we're at.
Right. It's about not allowing your current reality to influence so much your
Right.
future reality. It's
Yeah.
about creating your future reality without allowing the current circumstances, which aren't exactly what you want, to continue to influence you as much.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a practice because that can be really difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're still going to get pulled a little bit here and there as you go. But if you practice this more,
And
you will
have
begin to see changes.
and as you become to have that place of being more dominant where you want to be, more and more and more, you're going to start moving a lot. And it happens quickly a lot of times when you finally figure that out, to be it. Okay, so the thing that we see that most commonly trips you up is that in the contrast, which is necessary and valuable to help you give birth to a rocket of desire. That's the words I was looking for, rocket of desire. Often there is an activation of many kinds of jumbled energy. Usually, in order for you to know that you want something, you have to pretty well have chewed on details or events that have helped you know what you do not want. In other words, when do you speak most clearly about wanting to be well? Usually when you are less well than well, correct? Right. Yeah. When does your strongest desire for more money, really kick into high gear? Most likely when there is not enough money. When you are confused, that is when you want more clarity, right? When you are overwhelmed, isn't that when you want more serenity? And when you are bored, isn't that when you want more stimulation? Remember, the creative workshop process comprises 3 steps. One, ask. That is easy. You do it all the time. Number two, answer the asking. That is not your work. Source energy does that. Number three is allow. Be in the receiving mode of what you are asking for. It is important that you realize that step 1 and 3 are different. When you are focusing upon or praying for something you really want or need, often you are not a vibrational match to the thing you want. Instead, you are a match to the absence of it. When the bills all come at once, there is not enough money to pay them, and you feel frightened and fearful and say, I need more money. Or you try to use your more positive words, such as, I want more money, you are doing step one. You're setting forth your desire, but you are not in step three. So you are holding yourself apart from what you are asking for. You are continually asking. You cannot stop asking. Contrast is evoking the desire from you. Your real work is to find a way to be in the receiving mode. It is similar to wanting to receive a satellite or radio signal. To do so, you have to get your receiver on the same wavelength as the transmitter, or you are going to get static. You are not going to get a clear signal. In like manner, you recognize the alignment of your transmitted and received signals by feeling the alignment of your emotions. In other words, when you are out there in your ragged place where you are feeling frazzled and frustrated or angry and hurt, you are out of alignment. So good. Um, you we want you to relax and not be so hard on yourself when you find yourself in a place of negative emotion. Negative emotion is a good thing in that it is letting you know that some tweaking is required in order for you to be in harmony with who you are. If you are really out of sync, in other words, if you can really feel that you are not in a good feeling place, then a more soothing process that we would recommend would be that of meditation. Because when you quiet your mind, you stop thought. And when you stop thought, your vibration automatically rises. Of course, if you can find something to focus upon, something that you can easily appreciate, then the rampage of appreciation process would be an even better one, because you can do it under all conditions, no matter where you are. But this process of virtual reality will help you in two specific ways. You will become accustomed to the way non-resistance feels, so you will recognize when you have moved into resistant thought at an earlier stage, when it is easier to move back out again. And in every moment that you are in your state of non-resistance, the law of attraction will be responding to you in a positive way. That is some juicy stuff there.
Mhm.
So good. When I was reading, something came that I was gonna, oh, when I talked about meditation, because then you quiet your mind. And I know some people have a hard time, me as being one of them, that can't, I have a hard time quieting that monkey mind. So when I meditate, if I'm having trouble quieting my mind, I'll listen to music while I'm meditating, or sometimes I will do something repetitive, or painting or drawing or just scribbling, and that will help quiet my mind. So if you're in that place, I know, especially when I'm frustrated, I have a hard time quieting. So if you do something, even going for a walk or something like that, that also will help that monkey mind settle down and slow down. So then you can get into a better thinking spot, or a better, dreaming spot, or manifesting spot, a better way to think about what you want instead of what you don't have.
Right,
Right?
absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really love that you said that, because I mean meditation is one of my favorite things to do
Yeah.
in general. And through meditation, that's where everything, for me, evens out. It creates ease in my life. It creates ease and flow in my feeling. It creates um, the ease and flow so that I can get out of the way to do spiritual mediumship and channeling and things like that. And so meditation completely changes my vibration
Yeah. Yeah.
in the most positive and wonderful way. And meditation was the way that I was able to um, get through anger. You
Yeah.
know, I used to have a lot of anger and things like that, and I don't have that anymore. And
Mhm.
meditation was really the way that I changed my vibrational set point
Yeah.
from, you know, cynicism and anger and frustration into the vibration that I have now, which, you know, 90% of the time I'd say is happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
beautiful, you know. I mean, the only and now I have little molehills instead of mountains, and that's really what changing your vibrational set point is about,
Mhm.
is changing the way that you feel because that tells you where your vibrational set point is. And so I love that they talk about releasing that resistance because that's really what it is. You're releasing the resistance to the vibration that you would naturally be at
Yeah.
without the resistance, which is that high loving, happy, joyful, appreciative state that really is our natural state. But
Uh-huh.
we allow circumstances to move us in and out of that vibration. And that's where our emotions are telling us. And I really like that they kind of brought that up and talked about how the more that you do things like meditation or like this process, it helps you to feel what it feels like to be non resistant, which is really that good feeling receiving mode state.
Yeah. And that's one reason why we started doing freedom release method too, is to help reduce that resistance and help let go of that resistance. So maybe next week we can talk more about that on our, letting go, and we can do some freedom release to let go and renew and
Yeah.
do that.
Creative release method is absolutely one of my favorite tools we've ever learned because that tool changed my life
Yeah,
inconceivably.
right.
And you know, I use it to help change the lives of my clients every single time I see someone if I can. If it comes up that they need it, 100% I'm like, let's do that because it's going to help them release
Yeah,
that subconscious programming so their mind and their subconscious and conscious mind and their energy can be in more in alignment. And that's really what we're talking about with this process is creating alignment of your energy with the alignment of the energy of the things that you want.
yeah,
And freedom release absolutely 100% helps you with that. I think that's a brilliant idea, Tracy. Let's do that.
yeah, yeah. We'll do that next time. Yeah, good.
Yeah. Tune in next time. You're going to want to for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Do you want to read the next part?
Yeah, I'd love to. So they say, Abraham, speak to us more about the virtual reality process. Virtual reality is a process where you get to choose everything about this moment in time, just like a director in a movie would do. To begin this process, you would first decide, where does this scene take place? Choose a location that feels really good to you. It could be a place that you may have visited, heard about, seen in a movie, or even imagined. So this is the place that your virtual reality is going to take place, the scene in your mind. Is it indoors or outdoors? What time of day is it? Is it morning, afternoon, or evening? Is the sun just coming up or going down? Is it broad daylight? What does the air feel like? What is the temperature? How are you dressed? Who else is there? Choose something that feels good to you. It does not matter if you are alone or with someone else, but it is important that if you choose to bring someone else into your virtual reality, that it feels good to have them there. What kind of mood are you in? Are you laughing? Are you sitting and quietly contemplating? Once you have set the scene, you can imagine what you might say to each other. The purpose of this virtual reality process is to cause you to activate vibrations within you that put you in the place of allowing your well being. So you would not create a virtual reality where you would build your new house with a leaky roof and then prepare people into your virtual reality to fix the leaky roof. You would not put up ugly wallpaper and then bring someone in to replace it. In your virtual reality, you can make it be precisely the way you want it to be. Do not use this process to try to improve a specific existing situation, because in your attempt to fix something, you will bring the existing vibration into your virtual reality. And in doing so, you will lose the power of the virtual reality process. And I think that's really important to
Yeah.
note is that this virtual reality process is where you're creating a feel-good space. And that is the goal. The goal is not to create anything really beyond that feel-good space, creating the vibration of feeling good, that vibration where things can meet you. So you're not trying to create something different than your reality here. You're trying to create the vibration
Yeah.
of the reality you want. So that's the difference.
Yeah. Love that. I'm so glad they put that part in there.
That's such a good note. And I can do the next part because I
Okay.
mean, we're on a roll.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nothing is more important than feeling good. So this goes right along with what we were just talking about.
Mhm.
There is no reason that well-being is not pouring into your experience in precise detail in response to all of the things that you have identified that you want, other than the fact that you are in a bad mood or angry or worried about something. The exercise of virtual reality will help you train yourself to feel better more of the time. And like working a muscle, the more you do it, the better it works for you. Esther once practiced this game of virtual reality while she was driving the big bus she and Jerry travel in. She discovered that it worked best for her to get into the scene quickly, bring herself to a place of really feeling good, and then get out. If she stayed too long, she would get too practical and try to reform people or fix things. But when she would just decide where the good feeling place was going to be by picking something that made her heart sing, deciding who else was going to be there, identifying what kind of mood they would be in, and then just speaking a few words of dialogue and getting out, it felt wonderful. We would encourage you to play this game when you are driving, standing in a line, or lying in your bed, or you could even just set aside some time to do it. As you create these scenarios that make you feel good, you activate a vibration that does feel good, and then the law of attraction matches that vibration. There's nothing more important than that you feel good, and there's nothing better than creating images that cause you to feel good. With Esther, as she was driving, would think about the what the air felt like. Sometimes she would give it just a little humidity. Sometimes it would be so dry that it would feel good as it blew across her body. Sometimes it would be 90 degrees and with no humidity at all. She thought of every pleasant combination of temperature, humidity, and time of day that she could think of. And then she would bring lovely friends to come and play with her, and they would have all kinds of wonderful experiences. She got so good at virtual reality that she wanted to stay longer because when she played this game, she could control everything about everything.
You want me to go?
Yeah, if you would please.
Yep. Every thought that feels bad is bad. The universe does not know or give attention to why your vibration is what it is in any moment. In other words, the doctors could have diagnosed you to being disease-ridden yesterday, and today you could be driving down the highway like Esther did in some sort of fantasy virtual reality. In that moment, there would be no representation of any disease within your body. And if you could maintain that vibration more than you maintain your awareness of the disease, it could not remain in your body. It is only there because somehow, without knowing it, you have chosen thoughts that are a vibrational match to the essence of the disease. Every thought that you have chosen that is a vibrational match to disease feels bad when you think it. It feels like anger, frustration, resentment, blame, guilt, or fear. Those thoughts are not good for you, and you can tell they are not good for you because they feel bad when you think them. In the same way that touching and feeling a hot stove hurts, feeling negative emotion hurts. Something that you something that you lived a long time ago that is not active in your vibration, or something that you lived yesterday that you are not thinking about right now, does not have any vibrational weight in your point of attraction, none whatsoever. So you do not have to rid yourself of all negative thoughts. Sometimes, as you are interacting with others, you will hear, see, or smell something that triggers a vibration within you that does not feel very good as it is activated. And that is the time for you to say, oh, my guidance system is working. I can feel that there's something activated within me that's not serving me very well. Because in the activation of this vibration, there's some resistance within me that is now disallowing the well being that would be there otherwise. So that is the time to choose a thought that feels better. And if you have practiced virtual reality, then it will be very easy for you to reach for a thought that feels better. But if you have not been practicing, then when you are in the middle of a negative thought, you do not have anywhere positive to go. So you just have to wait until that thought peters out. And, we can all remember times when we've done that, and then you just kind of spiral down that hill. And but we know now better to change that vibration as soon as you figure that out. As soon as you think, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing it," I'm going downhill. We wanna
Mhm.
we wanna stop and switch pivot our
Yeah,
vibration.
I was gonna say that's what we call pivoting.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
sure. Yeah. So let's do another one. Okay, another example of a virtual reality process. The more you practice the process of virtual reality, the more you will be practicing the vibration of no resistance. The more you practice the vibration of no resistance, the better you will feel. And of course, the things that you want will now easily begin to flow into your experience as well. For example, imagine the following scenario. Place, a lovely white sandy beach. Oh, I'd love to be there right now.
Sounds
It's
great.
yeah, it's winter time, but the weather is delightful. It's 70 degrees and with scattered clouds, and the air feels wonderful on my skin. I have no shoes on, so I'm enjoying the feeling of the cool, clean sand under my feet. My clothes are loose fitting and very comfortable, and I feel very good in my body. And I am lazily walking down the beach, feeling strong, happy, and secure. My 5-year-old granddaughter is with me, and she is loving this glorious day as I am. She's glad to be with me, but she does not seem to need me to entertain her, and I'm enjoying watching her happy, self empowered activity as she runs, digs in the sand, and enjoys the lovely beach. I'm very glad that we've come to this place. It was a very good choice. My granddaughter runs up to me holding a shell that she's discovered, and with a gleeful, sweet voice and bright, sparkly eyes, she says, Grandma, I'm so happy we're here. Thank you for bringing us here. And I tell her, you are most welcome, sweet girl. I love being here with you. Now, this is a good time to get out.
I
That's,
love that.
yeah, I
I
love
love it. Even if you don't have a granddaughter, you can still see like,
that.
your niece or,
Right.
your favorite parent friend's kid coming up to you and saying that, and you're just having the time of your lives, just walking on the beach.
Yeah, I love it.
I feel better just listening to that
Yeah,
and thinking about it.
I feel better because I can just imagine that with my granddaughter.
And I can imagine it with my niece.
Yeah, it feels really good. So just even just sitting in that moment for a little bit and feeling that happiness, that excitement, it's always you can always feel that easier when you think of a child being there. It's so good.
I can do the last part if you'd like.
Okay, sure.
You're reading a lot, and I thank you for that. Worrisome or thrilling, your visualizations are matched. In Tucson, a dear friend gave Esther a windshield repair kit, and Esther thought, I wonder how it works. She read the instructions and thought, this is a wonderful thing. And every time she picked it up, she thought, what an ingenious thing this is. So she and Jerry were on the road, and in about 10 minutes, a truck swiftly passed them, causing a rock to ricochet off the windshield of their motor coach. Almost immediately, Esther got to experience the need for the windshield repair kit that she had been visualizing. No matter whether you worry or rejoice in your virtual reality, you set up a vibration with the law of attraction matches. People said to us, Abraham, I have a hard time visualizing. When I think about going into virtual reality, it's just a sort of blank space for me. I don't know how to do this. And we said, can you remember events that have happened? If you can remember, then you can do virtual reality because none of that is right here, right now. And as you are remembering, you are recreating it from something. So, visualizing or virtual reality is no different. It is conjuring, but with the singular intention of pleasing yourself as you do so. As you practice this process and stimulate your imagination more, you will not only find the process to be delightful, a delightful, good feeling way to spend time, you will discover that your dominant vibration on a myriad of subjects is changing, and your life experience will now begin to reflect these wonderful improvements.
I love that.
Mhm.
Such a good process. So now,
Amazing.
as you go about your week, start using this process in your daily life and imagining and daydreaming about where you want to be, what you want to do. Just think about and or remembering things that help you feel happy. You know,
Mhm.
times when you were happy, times when you were doing things, and think about, maybe that vacation you're going on this summer and see yourself there and walking on the beach or wherever you're going, and just imagine yourself to be there, and it's gonna enhance your time when you do go there or when you are there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or even thinking about your favorite place.
Yeah.
Because everyone, like they said, everyone has memories.
Right.
And so use your memories to create your visualization and create it the way that you want it to be, just in that where's my favorite place to be? What's the most comfortable? What feels the best?
Mhm.
And this white sandy beach, a lot of us really love that right next to the water. So relaxing. So just use those things that feel good to you to create that moment in time where you feel really good. Because the more you practice that vibration, the more you'll have that vibration. And the more it'll be easier for it to come into your experience because you're not resistant to it anymore.
So good. I love it. All right, Carissa, where can we find you in the
Well,
world?
this weekend you can find me in Fergus Falls
I'll be there too.
with you,
Yeah. We'll be
which I'm
having
so
fun.
excited about.
Yeah, I am.
So it's this is 2025. It's April 30th today. So this Saturday we're going to be in Fergus Falls for the Spring into Wellness event, which is going to be so fun. It's put on by my friend Jana and some of her friends who are amazing. She owns Light Force Massage, so if you haven't looked into her, check that out. So we're so excited because, well, I'm going to be doing my angel and spirit guide readings and giving my Breakthrough the Barriers to Your Best Life talk that I did in Bismarck. That was just out of sight, out of bounds. Loved it so much. And Tracy, you're going to be doing intuitive card readings, correct?
Oracle card readings, and I'll have some little fun things to sell.
Oh,
Some,
yeah, you're going to have some of your newest
yeah,
art stuff
yeah,
there. And I just can't wait. I already told her I'm going to buy a couple things because she's been showing me her stuff. And I'm like, well, I want that one and I want that one and I want that one.
yeah, yeah. I'm starting a new line of things with my art printed on them. So, yeah, it's going to be fun, and I'm excited to start showing my stuff. And I'm
Yes,
always
I'm excited.
do card readings, so that will be a blast. Yeah,
Yeah, I cannot wait. And here's the thing is like, I hope I'm not too busy with readings because I normally am. And if I'm not too busy with readings, I'm going to shop
yeah.
because Tracy's going to have cute things. There's going to be all sorts of really fun stuff there.
You're
And
there.
I'm so excited. I was like, even if I just do a couple of readings, I'll probably, I know I'm always full up, but if I ever have like a couple of spaces, I'm just like, I'm just going to go look around. I want to see all the things.
Yeah,
So absolutely join us for that. Look it up on Facebook, Spring into Wellness in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Going to be so fun. But if we're talking about interwebs,
Yeah, go on, go on.
you can find me on Facebook at Light of Hope Healing. You can find us collectively on Facebook at Our Soul Space.
Yeah,
Find us on YouTube at SoulSpace Podcast.
yeah.
Nothing before or after.
Yeah.
And then
Website.
my square site, which is really fun to say, light-of-hope-healing.square.site. Light of Hope Healing with a bunch of dashes in between, .square.site. And that's where you can buy tickets to my May live class, which is Breakthrough to Your Best Life, which is going to be
Wait for
just
that.
out of this world. I'm so excited. And you can find all sorts of other fun goodies there as well. And then Tracy, your website is much simpler than mine. You want to share that?
Mine is easy peasy, inspiredsignals.com. Easy. And you'll find all my links there. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Inspired Signals and at Inspired Signals Studio. So find me everywhere. And I have, we're collectively at Soul Space. We both post in there. And yeah, I'm still working on my store to get up, but that'll be there soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, once she's got stuff like in her virtual store for you guys to purchase, for those of you who aren't local, we are in West Fargo, North Dakota, if you're kind of wondering where we're at.
Mhm.
If you're not local, we'll definitely share out when she's got her Etsy store up because you're
Yeah,
not going to believe the stuff that she has for you. So excited.
it's fun. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah. So, all right. We hope to see a few of you on Saturday. And if not, we'll see you next week right here, same place. Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys.